What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Foreign Car Charlotte. We're going to take a look at this 2021 Bentley Flying Spur. So huge shout out to them for providing this ultra luxurious sedan for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website because they also have Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, and a ton of pre-owned inventory to choose from. I'll have other information down in the description below. But the Flying Spur that you see behind me is finished off in Bulgaria, and it has an MSRP right around $273,000. But we're going to start off today's review with what powers this specific Flying Spur. Underneath the hood, you're going to find the 6-liter twin-turbo W12 engine paired to the 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. This pumps out 626 horsepower, around 6,000 RPM, and 664 pound-feet of torque as low as 1,300 RPM. It is all-wheel drive, weighs in right around 5,300 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds, up to its top speed of 203 miles an hour. And it also has a fuel capacity of 23.8 gallons, and you can expect to see around 13 miles per gallon in the city and 19 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 125.8 inches. Its overall length is 209.3. It has a width of 65.8 and a height of 58.4 inches. As we work our way to the exterior now for this Flying Spur, I'm going to start off with the headlight and the turn signal housings. So you'll notice that the headlights and the high beams are this inner housing, very nice intricate pattern running within it, along with this chrome trim piece surrounding it. And then the LED turn signal is its own separate housing. You can see that on the far section here with more of that chrome and the intricate pattern running within the housing itself. Definitely gives it a very unique look for the Bentley. As we work our way to this grille now, you'll see it's finished off in chrome, really nice vertical slats running throughout it, and plenty of cutouts to provide maximum cooling to this W12 engine. Where you'll also notice too, the entire lower section of this bumper has a lot more cutouts to better improve with aerodynamics too. You'll see more chrome trim surrounding the lower section too, as well as the forward-facing sensors. So those are located on both sides, along with all of the integrated parking sensors. You'll also notice too that we have the Bentley logo on the top section of the grille. There is a button on the interior where you can hide this. So if you'd like to put it away and give it more of a flush look, you have the option to do that. You'll also notice too there's a chrome trim piece running right down the middle of the hood, leading all the way to the Bentley badge. And then you'll also notice too there's really nice clean lines running down the hood, and they actually extend their way all the way to the lower section of the grille, wrapping all the way to the opposite side, of course, just tying it in nicely and giving it a great look. And you'll notice there's more lines on the front quarter panel just to tie it in nicely. Moving on to the side profile now for this Flying Spur, we're going to start off with these wheels. So these are 22 inches. They have a multi-spoke design to them as well as a two-tone finish. You'll also notice just how large the red brake calipers are behind the wheel. And this has front rotors that measure 16 inches and 15.5 inches in the rear. So it's a really large wheel, tire, and brake combo for this model. You'll also notice too that there's a nice chrome trim piece in the front quarter panel along with some vents. The W12 badge is in the lower section, where you'll also notice more chrome trim running along the lower side skirt, and it even makes its way up to surrounding the window trim. You'll also notice too that the side mirrors are body colored. We have the integrated turn signal, and this has a full panoramic sunroof, so you'll notice that up top as well. Very clean lines run down the side profile for the Flying Spur. We do have some crisp lines that extend from the hood that I showed earlier, running just under the side mirrors and above the door handles, where it splits off to another crisp line running just below the gas cap to the taillight. And last up for this Flying Spur, I'm going to start off with the chrome trim strip that you saw running in the lower section of the door. It makes its way to the rear bumper, wrapping all the way to the middle here, where you'll see even more chrome surrounding the license plate. So it's nicely tied in and looks really nice at the same time. You'll also notice we have the Bentley badge along with Bentley spelled out. This also has a backup camera with all the parking sensors, as well as having LED taillights, which have a really nice design. You can see more of that chrome trim, which ties in nicely with the chrome you saw surrounding the headlights. And then down at the bottom, you can see the dual exhaust finish off with the chrome tips. And now it's time to work our way to the interior on this Flying Spur. You'll also notice too that this model has the power folding side mirrors, which are currently folded in. But with the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket, all I need to do is grab the door handle and it will unlock, where now we can move on to this beautiful door panel. So you'll see a combination of two-tone leather as well as two-tone stitching, very nice wood trim piece and piano black trim piece running across the top. You'll see those are surrounded with some chrome. There's also chrome on the release handle. Lock and unlock is just behind that. This model also has the 10-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system. You can see one speaker cover is finished off in brushed aluminum. There's also the trunk release as well as the memory seating adjustments down below and a little bit of storage. And then as we work our way to the window controls, you'll see they're all finished off in chrome, as well as the side mirror adjustments, which are also heated. And we have more leather on the armrest and the grab handle. Very nice premium looking design. As we work our way to the interior now, you can see the illuminating Bentley badge, which is really cool to see. And now we can work our way to this beautiful leather interior. You'll see Bentley just at the top of the seat, as well as black stitching, some more chrome trim underneath that. Very nice pattern to these seats. They are heated and ventilated. And then down on the sides, you can see all of the automatic controls, as well as the massaging features and the adjustable bolstering support just to make it more comfortable. And now once inside with my foot on the brake, it's time to start it up. And looking at this gauge cluster, you'll see over on the left side is the miles per hour, as well as the fuel gauge and what gear you're in. Over on the right side, you can see the tach, as well as your trip information and the engine temperature. And then right in the middle, there is an LCD screen where you can go through a lot of information using all of these controls over on the left side of the steering wheel. So right now you can see the date and time. If I scroll down, you can basically look at your trip information. So there's the short term and the long term. You can also pull up the driver assistance and the speed limit sign. And then I can scroll over. You can look at any messages as well as the radio. You can pull up your phone when that is paired and also look at the navigation. So you can have that right in the middle, or you can pull it up in full screen so you can make the tach disappear and view all this information. You can scroll in and out, and then if I go through that other information, you can see it just pulls up some various other icons over on the far right. And then if I hit view again, it will bring the tach back up. So it's really nice, especially for that navigation, to see it in full screen. And then as we work our way to this two-tone steering wheel, you'll see it's covered in black leather on the outside, more of this tan leather on the inside with black stitching, gives it a very clean look. And then over on the right side of the steering wheel, you can see the Bluetooth and voice commands along with the heated steering wheel control and a shortcut to the navigation. You'll also notice that this model has steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, and those are finished off in chrome. As we work our way to the left side now, you can see the headlight controls as well as one air vent. Just pushing and pulling on this knob here is how you can adjust those. And you'll see the trim from the door panel extend right through the middle of this air vent with that trim piece above and the piano black just below. You'll also notice the two-tone for the dash with black leather up top and the tan running across the lip. You'll also notice too that this has a heads-up display. So right now it's showing the miles per hour and the speed limit sign. And then as we work our way to the middle, this is the 12.3-inch screen. It's very configurable, has a few different settings and a lot of information to go through. So on this screen right here, you can see over on the left side, if I click on home, that will pull up this screen here where you can see your mood lighting that you can adjust, which is really nice to see. We have location in the middle, radio over on the right side, but you can also go through different settings within these pages. So I can look at TPMS, date and time. You can even go to the massaging seats if you'd like to. Right in the middle, we have location, so you can go through all of that information. And then of course, radio on the far side, you can go through presets and various items like that. You'll also notice over on the left side, I can click on navigation to pull that up in full screen if you don't want to view that on the center gauge cluster. We can pull up music. There's a shortcut to the phone. If you go into car, you can go through a lot of information. You can look at the night vision. You can raise the adaptive suspension, look at your heads-up display, your blind spot monitoring. You can go through different settings too. You can also raise and lower the logo on the hood. As I mentioned earlier, you can have it showing, or you can conceal it, which is a really nice option to have. And then moving our way down on the left side, we can go into the climate controls, where you can also adjust the rear passenger air as well. So you can turn that on and off, adjust where you'd like the airflow. Same with the front passengers. And then the very most bottom button here, you can pull up fuel, weather, any news that you'd like to go into. You'll also notice there's some physical buttons for that screen. So we have volume on the far left. You have phone and navigation along with car, media, and source. Tuning for the radios on the far right. But if I push on this screen button now, you can actually change this entire screen and move it to showing the outside temperature. There's a clock and the compass. And then if I hold on this button, you can actually make it match the rest of the dash. So you'll see the wood trim piece on the top section, piano black on the bottom, gives it a very clean look. So if you don't want to use that screen, you want to hide all of that information, you can do that, which is a really nice feature to see. As we work our way down below that now, you'll see there's another clock along with the air vents on both sides. We have those same on and off controls. You'll also notice a wireless charging pad with a 12 volt in the front section there, so you have plenty of room for all of that information. And then as we work our way down to the middle here, you can see over on the left side, I can adjust the temperature for the driver. You can adjust temperature for the passenger on the far right. If I push on this fan speed, now we can adjust the fan speed with that same dial. So it's very nice how that has a dual purpose to it. You can see airflow, heated and ventilated seats, along with the sync button just behind that. And there's some other recirc buttons on both sides too. You'll also notice you have those same adjustments for your passenger so they can adjust their zone if they'd like to. And then right in the middle, we have the shifter. So by pushing on the Bentley badge and going all the way up into reverse, you'll see the camera system appear here where we have the backup camera with the top-down view. You can also clean the camera too if you need to. Of course, we can go all the way down into drive, and you can use these steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. And then to put the vehicle into park, we'll just click the P on the back side there. As we make our way to all of this aluminum here, you'll see the electronic parking brake along with traction control and the hazards. These controls over here will adjust the sunshade for the front seat and rear seat passengers, as well as the sunshades for the glass, which is really nice to see. We have the engine start stop button right in the middle, as well as the cylinder deactivation. This does have a parallel parking feature, which makes it much easier to maneuver. And we also have a shortcut to the camera system. So if you'd like to pull that up, you can. And then just behind that, you'll see there are 2 cup holders. You can also close this upper lid here, finished off in more of that piano black, just to tie it in nicely. As we work our way to the center armrest, it's finished off in leather, and you can adjust this. So if you want to pull it up and make it a little bit more comfortable, you can, or push it all the way back. As we work our way to the glove box now, you can see there's plenty of room, as well as a CD player up top, so you can put any information that you'd like to in there. We'll go ahead and take one last look at these seats. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have the split panoramic roof, so you can see that in the back seats as well as up front. We have all of these sunroof controls up top, as well as being able to do the sunshades too. There's some garage door buttons and the touch sensitive dome lights. As we work our way to the back seats now for the Flying Spur, this is really where you want to be. You want to be chauffeured around in the back seats here. And at 5'10", I have plenty of room. I have the front seat set at my height. I can stretch my legs out a little bit. I have around 2 or 3 inches above my head. There's even a pillow up in the headrest here, which makes it very luxurious and comfortable, so you can be driven around, as I mentioned. We have some pretty aggressive bolstering to these seats, so they hold you in well and give you a nice comfortable position. You'll also notice up top, the entire headliner is finished off in leather. We have some suede on the sunshades itself. There's also some mirrors, so if you want to fold those down and look at yourself, you can. We have the touch sensitive dome lights right in the middle, as well as being able to adjust the sunshade up top. So you can open and close that, of course. You can also see the sunshade is currently up on the window. I can use the normal window control to raise and lower that, and then of course raise and lower the window if I'd like to. You can see the memory seating adjustments for the back seats, as well as the massaging function, more brushed aluminum on the speaker cover, and a lot of space in the lower section of the door. So there's a lot of room for your backseat passengers. You'll also notice too, right in the middle, we have a small LCD screen to go through various information. You can do the heated and ventilated seats. You can look at the navigation. You can pull up the ambient lighting. There's a lot of car information you can go into, and you can configure basically whatever you'd like to. Go into the radio if you want. You'll see there's 2 air vents just underneath that, along with a little bit of storage space. And then right in the middle, if I pull this armrest down, you'll see there's 2 cup holders, a good amount of storage space in the armrest here, as well as having some USB-Cs and a 12 volt. You can also lower the middle section there, so you can pass through larger items if you'd like to. So there's definitely a lot of room for your backseat passengers. It's very luxurious to be driven around. And last up, it's time to take a look at the trunk storage space. So all I need to do is push on the Bentley badge, and that will automatically open up. You'll see there is a ton of room back here with some tie-down hooks, so you can safely secure any items you'd like to. There's also cutouts both on the driver's side, where there is a 12 volt, and then over on the passenger side, so you can put in larger items sideways if you need to. Definitely plenty of room for a vehicle like this. And having the power trunk, you can either close and lock it or just close it. All right, so getting the 2021 Bentley Flying Spur out on the road now. This is such a luxurious sedan. Everything about it just screams premium feeling materials and top-notch quality, from this interior, which you've already seen, to even having the W12 engine. I've never been in a vehicle that had the W12, so it's gonna be very interesting to check that out. But this is a vehicle that you can drive every single day or be driven around in. It's so comfortable in those back seats, as you've already seen. It offers a very luxurious drive too, with the adaptive suspension. It's incredibly quiet on this interior. You don't hear road noise, you don't hear wind noise or tire noise. It's very composed on the interior, and it's a great place to be if you want to get away from everything on the outside. So now I'm just gonna give it a little bit of gas in normal mode here with that W12. Wow. It's such a different feeling, because this is a heavy vehicle, but with that W12 and well over 600 pound-feet of torque, it just wants to go. It's very smooth in those upshifts, and you can just feel it getting faster and faster. There's no drama to it, of course, because this is a luxurious vehicle, but at the same time, it has the performance to get up and move. We have a 0 to 60 time under 4 seconds, a top speed just over 200 miles an hour. For a luxurious daily driving sedan like this, it's pretty impressive to see those kinds of numbers. But aside from that, it's very, very nice to drive. When you get behind the wheel of a Bentley, it is something special. With this two-tone interior and all of the trim and materials, it's just like nothing else that I've been behind the wheel of, so it's very nice. Visibility is also really good. While we're at a stoplight here, I can look over my right shoulder, look over my left shoulder. We have the backup camera too if you need to use it. So visibility is really great. And then talking about the center layout here, it's really nice how you have the physical buttons for your climate controls, fan speed, heated and ventilated seats. They're all laid out very nicely for driver and passenger, as you've already seen. And we have this screen that has so much information, but it's really cool how you can flip it 2 different ways, and you can completely put it away or hide it just if you don't want to look at it. It gives the interior a more cleaner look, and then when you do want to use that screen, you can flip it out. So you have so many options when you're driving this vehicle, not only from the massaging function that you can adjust to the adaptive suspension, you have that center screen layout. There's just anything you want to do in this vehicle, you can do it. You can adjust whatever you want. It's riding very nicely. For this bumpy road, the camera might shake just a little bit. This isn't the smoothest road, but I have no complaints with it. It's absorbing all of these bumps very well. So I'm not feeling any of the bumps, the jolts, anything like that. It provides you a nice, comfortable, and quiet ride, which is great to see. The exhaust note is not all that loud either. For a luxurious sedan like this, you wouldn't expect it to be, but we can go ahead and pop it into the manual mode now just by pulling the lever back one. We'll give it a little bit of gas. All right, you can hear that exhaust slightly, but we're up to the speed just like that. This is a quick vehicle for its weight. Even coming around a turn there, giving it some gas. We're gonna get out on the highway here just to give it a little more of an acceleration. And as we give it some gas, getting up to speed, it just keeps wanting to go and go. It's very smooth and very quick. We're up to speed just like that, which is very nice to see. So putting a few highway miles on it right now, it's very quiet, feels just like it did driving through the city. So you can take this on long drives if you wanted to. You can be driven around in it, going from point A to point B, wherever you need to go. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive, getting behind the wheel of this 2021 Bentley Flying Spur. Once again, huge shout out to Foreign Car Charlotte for providing this vehicle for me today. They also have Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, and Maserati, as well as a bunch of pre-owned inventory. So definitely check out their information down in the description. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button if you'd like to stay up to date on our daily uploads. And I'll see you in the next video.